Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, friends and fellow VEDS-ies alike. Welcome to my VEDS retrospective video. This is where I'm just going to talk for a few minutes about my experience in VEDS 2021, things that I thought went really well, things that I think I could have improved upon, and just talking about the month as a whole. For my channel, VEDS 2021 was definitely the year of experiments. I did things and I put videos out that I honestly never thought I would because of how it would be perceived and how I would personally come off. For example, I had, for years honestly, wanted to do Fandubs, but for a multitude of reasons, not the least of which was not having access to a proper microphone, I was always worried about doing them because I thought, well, I'm not much of a voice actor, this is something that I just can't do. It would be fun to do, again, for fun, but YouTube at large would mostly reject them or mock them. But with this year being the year of experimenting, I said what the hell, and I did 3 of them: Beetlejuice, Buzz, and Jafar. And honestly, to my surprise, you guys liked it, which I cannot thank you enough for how kind you've been with the content this year. This year was also, I think, the year of experimenting with me being somewhat of an on-camera personality. Granted, that is still a ways down the line. I still need to upgrade certain things, get certain things with my camera right, but this year, for the most part, I was on camera. Granted, last year, 2020, I was also on camera a lot, but granted, I didn't finish that VEDS. This year I did, so I guess by virtue and default, it was the year I was on camera the most. This year was also the year I really made a conscious effort to not fall back on the crutches of years past. In the past, if I didn't feel like editing something, or I didn't feel like I would be able to get a video out in a day, I would just hop on my PlayStation, do an hour and a half, 2-hour live stream, and call it a day. And I can totally see how that would either get annoying, or you could look at that as possibly just cheating in order to advance to the next day. However, this year, I only did 2 streams. And whenever I did those streams, they always had a purpose behind them. One of which I had whoever popped in pick the Overwatch hero that I played, and the last one was for the final day of VEDS, and that was basically because I wanted an open forum for people to just chat. More on an open forum for us VEDS-ies a little later on in the video. But moving on, I want to talk about a couple of videos that I made this month that I think are some of the best videos I've ever made on the channel, period. First and foremost was the sequel I made to my commercials series, if you can even call it that, Weird Commercials, the sequel. I know I've said this probably in a couple of videos this month, but I personally really love making the Weird Commercials riffing series for a couple of reasons. First, it gives me an opportunity that isn't doing a review, number one. Number two, it gives me an opportunity to try to write and execute a joke, which, granted, sometimes in my reviews I do put a joke, but those jokes are usually limited to, kind of like Family Guy, cutaway gags. Whereas with the commercials video, I basically have to take a 30-second ad, dissect it, try to find the parts where I can make a joke, and then execute those jokes. And thirdly, it also gives me the opportunity to say F it and basically do whatever joke I want to do. There are definitely jokes in those 2 videos that I don't think I would put in a review, as in the first one where I compared the Disney character Goofy to being a flat earther, or as in the second one where I have a father at Disney World tell his daughter that she was a mistake he and his wife had during college. And I don't think I do this to be shocking. I don't think I do this to try to push the needle. To me, when I'm writing these videos, if I think it's funny, it goes in. So I guess what I'm saying at the end of the day is those commercials videos are basically me without a filter. Another one of my favorite videos that I did this month, and it's definitely something I am going to do more of in the future, not just during VEDS, more on that later, was Let's Talk About Dad Napped from day 8. Now, this was a movie that one of my friends, I say in the video, told me, if you're looking for videos to do for VEDS, review Dad Napped. And it was honestly a little challenging to try to make a review of it. And full disclosure, one night when I just could not sleep, I was just on my computer, I opened up Microsoft Word, and I just started hashing out the review. And I realized a little bit into writing it that the best way to communicate how crazy this movie does get, and how stupid it gets at times, would be to do a full style recap. And I will say this, apart from the commercials video, I don't think I've had more fun editing a video this month than I have with that entire sequence of the fast motion clips of the movie, with the random cutaway gags at times, with my voiceover. That whole recap of Dad Napped, I think, is some of my favorite editing I've done this month. Thirdly, one of my favorite videos this month was my Schmigadoon review. Now, apparently, people who like Schmigadoon saw the video, didn't particularly care for it, because it's currently at a 66.7 like to dislike ratio, but I do not apologize for my feelings on that series. And perhaps one of the biggest compliments I got on that video came from Caleb in one of his forum videos, where he talked about that video specifically and said that he had Apple TV and was thinking about, should I watch it, should I not, saw my video and decided that he wanted to watch it, but would walk in with reduced expectations. The reason why I say that is because I don't consider myself to be a reviewer, in giant air quotes, worthy of listening to and then making a decision based on that opinion. I do these reviews, I do any kind of review, just to give my thoughts on a piece of media. I don't do them necessarily to try to sway somebody to either see it or not. That's why I think in most of my videos when I'm reviewing something, I usually will end off by saying, if you have seen insert X, Y, and Z, what did you think about it? Comment below, let me know. So to have somebody say, hey, I was thinking about watching this thing, but I wasn't sure if I was going to watch it, but then I watched a review, and I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to have those reduced expectations based on things you've said. That was kind of, admittedly, a massive ego boost to me, which I desperately needed around that time, because it was around that time that the September curse hit me hard. I won't go into too much detail, mostly because I don't think I necessarily have to, but, you know, basics are, I got sick, and had to take a break. Now, it wasn't until about day 23 that I really was starting to feel better, and that's why I was able to put out the mid-VEDS update on the 24th, and from then, it was just go, go, go. I needed to upload things fast. That's why there were a couple of from the archives, or, honestly, in other words, these were things uploaded on the channel years ago that I just had privated with the intention of uploading eventually, but I needed something to upload in order to reach my goal for VEDS, which was to finish it, so let's just put it out. And honestly, I'm also happy to say that that was not dominating content. I still was able to put out a couple of fresh videos, in a sense, over that month, talking about my trip to Walt Disney World, talking about the challenge for Desert Island Media, reacting to Muppets Haunted Mansion, that sort of a thing. And now, it's over. All is said and done. 30 videos in 30 days. However, let's look to the future, because rest assured, my video production, crossing my fingers, will not subside post-VEDS. So what kind of videos can you expect, or can I promise, air quotes, right now, looking back at VEDS and looking towards the future? Well, a couple of things. For starters, I am aiming at the moment for around Halloween to do a video I had intended to do for VEDS 2021, but the sickness kind of prevented me from doing it, because then I just had to catch up, and do another Disney Channel original movie review, only this time for Invisible Sister. Which I should also say, full disclosure, I have no idea if that would even fit thematically. I think it would, just kind of based on the thumbnail on Disney+, but again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. As for any reactions that you can expect from me as they come out, I will make a conscious effort to try to keep up with and react to every new episode of The Villain's Lair from Patty Cake Productions. No estimated date for that because I'm not Patty Cake Productions, so I have no idea when those are going to be released. Now, around the holiday season, let's say, I am going to do, crossing my fingers, another riff. Now, I haven't decided what I'm going to riff on yet. I have a couple of candidates that I'm not going to disclose at the moment. However, I am going to try to push to do another riff for Christmas. One final thing that I am going to do, because I feel really bad that I kept saying I was going to do it, and I just didn't have the time to get to it. I am going to, at some point within the year, before VEDS 2022, do the challenge that Tessa proposed to me, which I'm not even going to try to hide what I'm going to do with that anymore, because honestly, it's not worth it to me at this point to try to hide it. I am going to be doing, to fulfill her challenge, another entry in the defunct show on this channel, but probably won't be defunct when I put this video out, From Screen to Stage. So yeah, that's what I meant when I said I'm going to dust off old graphics, which I hopefully still have them. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about right now in terms of the future. That doesn't mean the channel's going to be dead in between those times. Of course, streams are going to happen periodically. If I feel like streaming a game, I'm going to stream a game. If you want to watch it, great. If you don't, I completely understand why not. And of course, I am going to, at some point, get back to doing the podcast that I talked about earlier in the month, the Disney TVA files. I haven't done a second episode, mostly because of VEDS. So yeah, I'm going to do more episodes again. Links in the doobly-doo. They'll also be uploaded on this channel if you'd rather see a video version of the podcast. I'm also going to try to get them on Apple Podcasts. I don't know entirely how to do that. So if anyone can help me with that, that'd be great. But yeah, that's also going to be happening. Now, before I wrap up and just talk about VEDS as a whole, I want to talk about something that when I was watching a couple of your guys' Day 30 videos that I thought I could provide the solution for. I got the general vibe from a lot of our Day 30 videos that we both wanted VEDS to end, because it has to end, because months don't work infinitely, but we didn't want it to end because of this community. And I honestly cannot agree more. This community is great, it's approachable, and I want that to be something that we can hold on to even after September ends, and maybe even leading up to September for VEDS. I also wanted something that could serve as an open forum for any of us VEDS-ies if we wanted to possibly collaborate on something, whether it be a video or a podcast or D&D, whatever it was. So I'm happy to announce that in the description of this video, and it probably will also be a pinned comment, I have created a VEDS, or VEDS-ie, I guess, depending on what I do, Discord server. Which, for those of you who don't know what Discord is, I'll briefly describe it. You can get it as an app on your phone, you can visit it on a web browser, and basically it's a server that you can join, and there's text channels, there's voice channels, and it's basically a way for us to communicate post-VED, or pre-VEDS, if VEDS is coming up and you come up with something that you think, wow, it'd be great if I could get this person in on it and do a collab. this gives you that way to do it without having to figure out, okay, where does this person live? What's their social media information? Because again, YouTube got rid of instant messaging a long time ago because they're idiots. Now, it should go without saying, like the challenges we've given to each other throughout this month, this is in no way a mandatory thing. This is just something I thought of one day. So again, link for that is in the description. So to wrap this video up, I want to take a minute to talk about you guys, the videos that you have put out. Because one of the things I think I always fail at in VEDS is the community aspect of it. And I wouldn't even necessarily say that it's because I'm not that sociable. I think it's just because I'm just always thinking about, okay, what am I going to make tomorrow, that I'm never in the now. And that's something I think from VEDS moving forward, I am going to make an active effort to do, is become more active in the community, comment more, respond to challenges more, issue challenges to you guys as well. I know I haven't done that for a couple of years. But yeah, I want to take some time in this video to talk about the videos that you guys have made, a video that you guys have made that I think was one of my favorites that you have made over these 30 days. So I'm going to start in alphabetical order with Abby. Abby, you honestly surprised me because I remember my first year doing this and it was garbage. But you have such a way on camera at making these things look honestly easy. Every video you have put out seems like it's methodical and thought out and strategic, and I don't know how you do that. Please tell me how you do that. And it's also the video that I think just perfectly encapsulates your channel and the videos you put out this month, was the video you put on day 29, your Geeking Out compilation, mostly because I've geeked out about things, and that feeling that I have when I geek out, I feel that through your video, and it almost in a way makes me start geeking out, even if I don't know what you're talking about. Moving on to Alice. Honestly, similar compliments from Abby. Whenever I see you do VEDS, just like with Abby in her first year, the videos you make, they seem so thought out and planned, which, as a person who kind of just plays VEDS by ear, or at least has been playing it by ear the past couple of years, I envy this immensely. And I think the video from you this month that was among one of my favorites, and it's in no way biased because I'm an art person, was your day 9 video, Small Books, Short Thoughts, where you sort of had this time lapse of you making a little storybook. And I think one of the reasons why I really like this video is due to its nature of being a time lapse, you get to see in a very short amount of time the evolution of from nothing to something. It also kind of makes me wish that I could work that fast whenever I try to do a design or something creative. And I would honestly love to see you do more stuff like that in the future. Moving on to Caleb. Now, Caleb, Spartanite, we have been doing this, at least in this sort of new iteration of VEDS, passing the torch, I feel like the longest. So, obviously, I love the videos that you do. However, I think my favorite video from you this month is something new that you did this month, and it's the cooking videos. Mostly because I suck as a cook, and you kind of make me think that I'm not that bad and I can do that too. Your recipes are also very interesting and they sound very tasty, and I'm sure they were. And like with Alice, you also have a way when you shoot these things that I'm envious of, because when you're showing the ingredients, such as in like day 12 when you were making the chickenless cashew chicken, and you have like the words on one side and the ingredient on the other, I kind of forget at times that I'm not watching something on like the Cooking Channel or Food Network. You have a future in cooking videos, dude. I would go on that road. Moving on to Graham. I think for you, Graham, my favorite video that you did this month was the video where you went record shopping. The day 15 video at Crazy Bob's Music Emporium. Mostly because you remind me of me when I'm rummaging through, the bins when I'm looking for movies. And I felt very similar vibes between when I look through movies and when you're looking through records and stuff like that. So that, to me, I think is one of my favorite videos that you did this month. Moving on to Jeffrey. Now, Jeffrey, I think the video from you that I'm going to remember for a while was your day 3 video where you reviewed / ranted on Hit Film Express. Mostly because I, this month, have also been dealing with some editing program issues with Sony Vegas, because there would be times where I am editing a video and the program just crashes. And sometimes I'd be able to recover the work that I've done. Other times I'd be unable to get the work that I've done back, and I would have to re-edit the entire thing again. Granted, not to the extent that you had to with Hit Film, where you would have to do it 3 or 4 or 5 times, but, you know, I again, kind of like with Graham, and kind of like with a lot of videos that I've talked about with the other VEDS-ies, I watch it and I feel your pain, and it also, in a sense, makes me angry at Hit Film in response. And finally, we have Tessa. And Tessa, I'm almost certain, if you're still watching this at this point, I don't even know how long this video is at this point, but I'm pretty sure if you're watching this at this point, you already kind of know the video I'm going to say, just based on the videos that I do. I'm, of course, talking about your Day 10 video where you slightly ranted and talked about, in an overview fashion, celebrities in voice acting. And to sort of just elaborate on the things you were saying, I do kind of feel like with animated movies nowadays, the art of good voice acting isn't really as profitable as, are you already an established actor? Do you already have a fan base from live action that we can sort of milk for our animated movie? And I agree with what you said, that the conflation of, if they like a celebrity, they'll come and see our movie, and they'll probably like our movie, nowadays seems to matter more than, are you actually a good voice actor? For every Robin Williams as the genie, where the animators and the people behind the movie gave this guy basically a character built around him and played to his strengths, you get a Shark Tale with a Will Smith fish. So yeah, those were the videos that I liked the most, or were among some of the videos that I liked the most from you guys this month. And it's over. VEDS has come and gone. We have all done what we set out to do, the 30 videos in the 30 days, but rest assured, we will all be back. And I'm happy to say that, because, as one final tangent, around the beginning of this month, when I was kind of feeling down on the content that I was making, I had considered making this VEDS my swan song. That 2021 would be the final year I would do VEDS, and that I would possibly either take a year off and come back in 2023, or just stop doing it. But I will say, seeing your guys' comments and video responses, and seeing just how we were all just on our game this month, re-energized me in a way you probably can't imagine. So thank you. And as for what we will do in the interim, who knows? Because like the great Dr. Emmett Brown once said, your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one. And with that, my friends and fellow VEDS-ies, see you next year.